Knowing the combat system, having memorable NPC voices, brilliantly painted minis, there's many things that players can point to that make you, their GM, awesome. But I have some sneaky tools you can employ that they won't notice, and these tricks can take your GMing to the next level. Hi, I'm Marcus, and I've been a TTRPG GM since the 1980s, which YouTube tells me is before most of you were born. Fellow grognards, if you too predate the A-Team, then drop a comment downstairs and let us know which game you first played that wasn't AD&D. A lot of the GM advice that is given out is about how to balance adventures, cater to the players' playstyles, and design basically better and better mousetraps. But I found in over 40 years of running games that how we make our players feel is what makes them want to keep the story going. You want to hear them say, "I hope this campaign never ends." But personally, I don't want the next words to be, "because my character is invincible. Nothing can stand in their way." That's villain talk, and the players are supposed to be bringing heroes to the table, not invulnerable tanks. When I say how we make our players feel, I don't mean emotional manipulation. Little orphan NPCs with eyes filled with tears, begging you to please vanquish Tiamat so we can all enjoy a Christmas dinner, Mr. Dickens. What I mean is, make them feel like they're part of a story that will be retold. Bards will sing of these events, though of course still not feel like passengers on a plot railroad. If you are trying to avoid railroads, then it can be easy to fall into the trap of just narrating what happens when the characters do stuff and then prompting them to act again. From this comes the situation where they meander about and, especially in a PBTA game, nothing plot-worthy happens until someone fails a roll. But of course, even in PBTA, the GM can advance the plot whenever they want to. It's important to remember that sandboxes don't have to be drama-free. First, let's talk about foreshadowing. The original Apocalypse world has the GM move, Announce Future Badness, and every game since that has had a variant on it. It's an excellent thing to do that should transcend systems. Nothing is happening right here, right now, but there's going to be trouble, and the party might not be able to do anything about it, but let them see the clouds on the horizon. All the water tastes different in the village, but the locals don't notice. They wouldn't have cast Detect Magic on the stream, even if they could. Communications with the core worlds have faltered, but this time for longer than ever before. The shops either side are boarded up, but the blacksmith manages a weak smile when he sees you. Linked to this is another excellent thing just to drop in, and something you can write beforehand. A cutaway. Start with a phrase like, "Unbeknownst to you, on the other side of town, little do you realise, but while all this is happening here, any scene where the players have no input has to be short. Please, please, don't make them sit through 5 minutes of you doing a 3-person conversation with yourself, but give them something to be glad they're far away from, and then start a clock, and then they're going to feel pressure." Now here's a tiny thing that you can do almost all the time. I've never yet overdone it. Use the rule of 3s. In drama, especially comedy, things come in 3s, and usually the third time isn't just the charm, it's also the clear exception. The third place they look for a clue, they find a clue. The first 2 times they attempt the ritual, the magic sputters out. The third time it goes wild. Adopt this for even the simplest situations, and you can make it a regular practice. And I promise you, it is far more useful for engagement and immersion than you might think. Just be careful not to draw deliberate attention to it. Okay, so can you give me 3 places you're looking for clues, and we'll skip to the third one. Subvert it or avoid it every now and then too. A really useful tool, and one that can save you some improv energy, is callbacks. If you need someone to have been murdered, it turns out, then who have they already met? If someone might have a collection of arcane artifacts in the village, who have they already spoken to? Did they see that tattoo before somewhere? You can do this spontaneously, and it looks like the most clever piece of writing. But the secret is that if you actually wrote out all the possible connections, you would have so many of them go to waste. Instead, just loop back when you need to on the fly, and the party might do it for you. If a player says, "Oh wait, did you say last session that Professor Henderson had a tattoo? Is it him?" Then grin slowly, congratulate them, and reward an XP. Don't let on that it's their fault. but it is now. All of these will give the impression of a well-written story without, and this is important, you writing the story beforehand for the players to ride the rails. Being an improvisational GM is all about reacting on behalf of the world to the player's actions. But it's really useful to have these tools ready to set what's going on in a greater context and have the player's actions feel like part of a grander narrative. Some of the best feedback I've had after sessions is people being blown away by something that I hadn't planned, but which felt like the tying together of massive strands. Can they be strands if they're massive? Plot ropes, plot cables. Some other great tools you can use are starting the session in the middle of the action, I have a video about that, and selectively choosing when to detail NPCs. But if you've not seen my video about doing voices, then I think you should watch that next.